So I'll just do that because it's been recording and it's hella easier to find this than it is to figure out where I started talking. Yeah.
Your tab there.
That's how we start. Okay. So, where we are. Okay. We're in the land of Boratorium, where common does not yet exist. You guys were chosen for some unknown reason to be the participants in a bet between a celestial and an archfey. And you have been gifted the ability to speak all languages. Your characters were kind of forced together into adventuring by being kidnapped by goblins. These pirate goblins have been raging the 9 islands you guys have come to call home and have recently been exploring. Your boat is composed of militaristic gnomes, lizard folk henchmen, scholars from around the isles, and heroes of various races. The story today starts off with one of our characters who's been quite seasick, waking up and coming to their feet barely steady. Go ahead and introduce your character.
I am.
Boom! I hate you so much.
Perfect. Amish Kobolds, the noble halfling bard. Although we do not know much about our magical unique abilities, I have come to journey with this group for a while and have come to partake and enjoy their theatrics and their shows, making quite an interesting story to tell for each one of them, as that was my job, I guess you could say, back in my hometown, was being such a fascinating storyteller.
As you stand from your loft, you could see what was causing all those noises that kept disrupting your sleep. As there's now this platform suspended about a foot off the ground, and there's these beams, and several of the bunks have been removed, and the beams have counterbalances going down to the corners of the platforms. And on it you have a large creature that you would recognize to be a dragonborn out of character, but it's just a very large creature to your
Scaly.
large scaly creature with a tail. Exactly. And he is brewing and taking advantage of this counterbalanced semi-gyroscopic floor to get his contraptions going without being disrupted by the rocking of the boat.
Am I in another nightmare? I want to get off this boat!
Good sir, if you feel the need for a drink, I can help you. If you feel anything beyond that, it's out of my expertise.
Glad the note talks. No, excuse me. I'm looking for some of my companions. A naked tiefling. I think you'd recognize that one.
Oh yes, you're one of those speak everything folks.
I'm glad to know you're not here to kill me. Yes.
Yes, speak everything folks. Yeah, the scholars over there. And he points over, and you see down the ship, which has been modified and has these rods that are coming out, and they look like they can be turned. And a couple, and by couple I mean 6 gnomes with big beefy arms, 3 on each side, or on each side of it, having a lunch break. Clearly, they're probably the ones who make these mechanisms move.
I've been asleep for a long time, apparently.
Yes, you have.
Mind you, how long's it actually been in game?
About 4 or 5 days, yeah.
Not even. Oh,
And so
one hasn't been drinking, non-contaminated water. Salt water.
I've never been on a boat.
so down beyond that, there's a small party that looks like a dwarf, an elderly dwarf, with a longer gray beard and scholarly robes, being guarded by a big muscly dwarf of much younger age. And then similar party dynamics for a tiefling, as well as some gnomes. And the 6 of them look like they're preparing to go forth. But as you approach, the dwarf will turn to talk to you, and he'll start to speak in a language that you understand, but it seems like he doesn't quite understand. Hello. Have you learned to speak yet?
Why does it seem like you're insulting me, good sir?
Oh, you're one of the speak everythings. Perfect. Yes, we are trying to write a language for the people without the gift.
Ah, wonderful. Maybe I can help with this later.
Yes. Where are you? What have you to do now? Can you help now? We're on our way inland for a great meeting.
Well, I do.
Diplomacy.
Matt, I do have to find my friends, so this sounds like a wonderful chance to see where I'm at.
Well, they're the ones who have summoned us, so that is heartily convenient.
Amazing! And it's glad to know I'm not in a place that wants to kill me right now. This is such invigorating, so different from the normal.
I pity you, and like everybody gives you like sad looks, and kind of like ushers you into their group.
Oh yes, well, back at home I didn't have to worry about things killing me. Everything just happened and it was amazing. And then I got attacked by these weird green things, and then I met my friends, and everywhere we went, things just tried to kill us, and it was scary. However,
this conversation happens. They start heading up the stairs to the top deck.
However, I do play some beautiful music.
And as you tell them of the music you play, you enter the top of the ship, and you can see 7 gnomes. One of them clearly in charge of the others. You've heard throughout the nights that one gnome is clearly in charge of pretty much everything that goes on, aside from what the heroes say. And he's referred to as the lieutenant. And that's the way he likes it. And he's commanding 6 gnomes that have got like rifles and tack gear and net guns, and they're clearly a little tack squad of very small creatures. And they're walking around the boat, kind of guarding the perimeter. You see some more scaly folks, but a little different from the one you saw previously. This being a lizard folk. And there's also some frog-like people.
A lot
just 2 of them.
changed since I'm ready to get off this boat now. I'm gonna need a minute to take this in. I'm ready to get off this boat now.
And so they go down the ramp, and one of the lieutenant's men salutes you on the way down, recognizing you as one of the all speakers, the speak everythings. And yeah, you head down and you walk off into the fields. And then we go back to you guys, who your vision, where you left off, was a dragon. It was surrounded by you, and you had the tack squad with you and talked to the dragon about. You ended up negotiating with the dragon to come to a meeting and stop raiding the Amish Kobolds. And you came to learn that he'd been trying very hard not to raid them, and he'd gone mostly vegetarian for the past century, and it's been really messing with his digestive system. And you got to see him weekly fly off to go inform the other dragon, who he's been keeping up charades for the past several generations. Where they pretend to raid, they pretend to fight each other and then raid opposite ends of the island, so that way, they keep some type of illusion, and they have one half of the island that they can go talk to when they're bored. But they are very bored and down to explore and anything that gives them more meat in their diet. And you successfully negotiated with him, and he ate the rest of his rations and has agreed to meet at a meeting tonight. And then the gnomes marched off to head back to the ship, and you were able to go down and start preparations at the village. But go ahead and introduce your characters.
I'll go first. So my character being named Chung. It's a very simpleton name of a wood elf. An island we have not visited yet. And I have not seen any moons. I've been named somewhat of a captain of the ship. Still not sure why or how that came about, but I was the one to talk to the dragon while the rest of the squadron stood at the ready. Looking back, I've mostly called the shots, I guess, that got us into either trouble or greatness.
Mostly trouble by my memory.
Hey, we're still coming out on top, though.
DM magic.
He's a big, burly guy. Still, he understands his rank, but doesn't really understand why, and that's about it.
Okay.
I'm playing Azure, who goes by User, her nickname for herself, that most of her island has taken to accepting at this point, besides her family. I play a naked tiefling from an island of naked tieflings, trained in the ways of the monk. And paths varied, but my particular path is that of drunken master. And I do it well, both in-game and out-of-game, with my chosen vice. Yay. So I am not a big burly man. I am a smallish lady with wings, horns, a forked tail, and no shadow, which we learned. I don't have a shadow or a reflection. So
Yes.
basically dampier. Did I say fangs? I have fangs. Small horns. Relatively small horns, if you think about it. And I'm just here after the co-opted. After we burned down that island by accident. I've been more open to just letting you run things and try to not let things get out of hand. Like
try and avoid more fires.
Accidentally.
Well, okay, technically they burned themselves down.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. It was a purposeful self-mutilation
We
by the
commanded
island
them
to be equal.
To be equals. And it just turned out it was easier to burn everything to the ground
When you have mud
than to
people,
bring up 90% of
and
the
hut
population
people.
to the same level as
To
the
be
10%.
okay, I would even be mad. I'd be more mad if it was like the mud people being like, we gotta burn down the hut people and bring them down to our level. No, it was the hut people who burned their own huts to bring themselves down to the mud people. So that's their own fucking fault. They could have gone. I was expecting them to go build huts, and they didn't do shit. Path of least resistance, my ass.
Let's real quick though. What's the alignment around the table?
That's up to DM discretion at this point. And when I first made this character, lawful evil. At the moment, I don't know.
Chaotic neutral.
And I am currently neutral evil. And still
Neutral
have
evil?
been.
Well, that's only my that's easy. Yeah. Our one character that we're introducing. Yeah. I was about to think like, well, if we get the other characters involved, then probably evil around
It's probably mostly evil around the board. But to be fair, almost every character could be tagged under neutral. We're all from our own island.
True.
Most islands don't have much of an actual civilization. How do you truly determine what's good or evil?
So together we're about a chaotic evil party.
I'm lawful evil. That brings it up.
The neutral evil.
Yeah. Quick thing.
Yeah.
So about my last thing about my character, I think I'll say, is my faith. You know, the insignia that I have like branded into my arm as part. So my monk school, whatever, is Hydra Kai, we're like 3 times as better as Cobra Kai because a Hydra is basically 3 snakeheads.
Exactly. And then I think it's important to point out that your character is not fully naked.
Oh, I have boots on. I have winter boots on that let me withstand temperatures up to -50 degrees Fahrenheit.
I still just boots alone.
And resistance to cold damage as well.
Like I can just imagine you're in like.
So I got snow boots on. I got like jewelry, belts, I guess, holsters. You know.
Oh, you got an armband.
Yeah, I got an armband too. That. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I'm attacking you now. I have an armband that has infinite daggers in it, so I can just go.
So I just imagine though your character's like in 5 foot of snow, nothing more than your nipples sticking out. Just, is it cold, guys?
No, they wouldn't be though, because unless if it hits -51 degrees, I'm done. That'd be really funny.
It's -48 with a wind chill, -51, so it's just like.
Let me stay behind you. So I'm like 5'7", so I'm not too short. You know, I got like an average build.
Right.
Essentially. I'm not like most of my other characters. I'm very small and petite, and nope, I'm very average because I gotta fight you and I gotta punch things. I mean, with a constitution of like 14 and a dexterity of 20, I imagine I'm well built.
As,
not like those gnomes though.
No, I have 30 strength.
At least. Nah, I think they're 26. Only in their arms. I give them different stats for their arms and legs, respectively. But as you guys head in,
That's my chosen voice. Water.
as you guys head back down the mountain and re-enter the plains area, the farmland.
I'll just fly us there.
Yeah.
So we don't have to fly.
And an adventurous kobold comes out and kind of greets you guys.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
I heard you like adventures.
I mean,
Like,
we just have a lot of them.
yeah.
Yes, you're the ones with the ship, yes.
Yes.
How do you know the ship?
I mean, no, we don't.
No?
What ship? What's a ship? Are you
Tell
from
us
around
about-
here?
Yes.
Yes, we have a ship.
Awesome, I'd like to join you on your travels.
What can you do?
Pull out the stack of papers. Please fill out this application form.
And I pull out a binder, and here's your instruction binder. It's the same height as.
Yeah, they're all just.
Both completely blank.
Well,
The first three pages are really dense, and then it's just blank because we ran out of.
It's a box
Yeah.
painted with like papers.
well,
Mine's just a rock. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm quite strong and I'm from the area. I can farm.
There's not much farming on a ship.
No.
Just so you know.
Yes.
But he could make the ship farm. Like,
All you need is some water and some ground and you're fine. For the most
we
part.
don't have either of those.
However,
Wait, no, we do. The last island. Or we were just tearing up the shoreline for supplies.
Oh yes, there's plenty
in
of ground
the
there.
cultist place. We just took everything.
Except for the dirt. We left the dirt.
You left the dirt.
however, I would love to say that I'm one of the best farmers in the area and I'm quite skilled when it comes to a scythe or a sickle. Or a pitchfork.
Alright.
As you see him holding on to a scythe in his hands and having 2 sickles on one on each side.
Yeah,
I mean, couldn't hurt.
yeah. You're on.
Wonderful!
We'll have you on like a training period
Yeah.
to see, just to test your mettle, and then you'll be promoted to full-fledged member. Once you prove you can actually handle yourself.
Wonderful!
Sweet. Yes.
And then you guys, as you approach closer to the town, you hear a voice in your head. Are you committed to adventure?
Walking through town and walking. Here's my walking.
Yes, I would say committed to adventure.
Walking through town.
Do you say this out loud or trying to talk within your head?
I will say it within my head.
Okay.
Actually, what's my... He would say it within his head.
Okay. And so,
Walking along and we're walking.
suddenly, nothing changes. And you keep walking.
We're walking in.
And
Walking
as you get there, you notice that the pavilion is now completely decorated. There's like even little benches sit around, and some Kobold families are sitting there to watch because it's just a spectacle to see these potential negotiations. And
Yeah, that's the
Potential.
That's the spectacle here.
Yeah, I like the tag on there. Potential.
and
Yes,
there's a Kobold chief that comes up to you, and along with one of the men that the lieutenant had left.
One of the who? Sorry.
One of the men the lieutenant had left.
Oh, yes. Okay.
User, we have a problem. And you've never been addressed so directly by a gnome that wasn't the lieutenant. This is straightly out of character. And before he can say anything else, the chief of the village comes up and is like, "The dragon is coming here to talk?
Yes.
Both of them.
Both of them! That makes...
Plus, if we can get people from the north, or at least communications with them, that would be
even
great as
better.
well. Yeah,
Okay,
They must also
so you
hear
got the
this.
friendly dragon to come too.
they're both friendly.
They're both friendly now.
Long story short, Chief, they've been playing you like fools for years just
But,
to get
like,
food.
I mean,
Well, yeah, we know they've been playing us like a fiddle for years. What are we supposed to do? It's a dragon.
So they both like
They're not even wanting to
fight.
attack you.
They fight each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it hurts.
Yeah, they're not actually fighting.
And then they go foot off and get food.
Oh,
And I like flap my wings when I like to like emphasize.
this is true.
Fiddle. So, but we would like to bring them into the fold, if that makes sense.
To help them so that way you guys aren't struggling to make food for them and they have a different food source because they're not meant to be eating what you guys are making.
Yeah, they're dying.
Yeah.
So they need to get like some meat, not wheat.
These raids stop today.
I don't know if there was like a mistranslation there at some point because they need meat, not wheat.
We stopped raising the meat because they kept taking it all.
Because that's their diet. So I mean, sorry.
But we have
But-
some...
So and we're not going to suggest that you give them more meat that you
No,
don't
no.
have. That's not on the table. But there's a lot of islands out there, so we're just gonna
You're thinking of taking them to another island to hunt?
Exactly.
one of many. I mean, one stop among. I would like these dragons to be like lieutenants.
And
That was my
your
just
Kobold
eat
knows
goblins.
that
'Cause we don't need to. We don't
the
need
blue
to.
and bronze dragons
give them
that plagued
puppies.
this island for
I was gonna go with camels.
forever.
We don't-
The bronze dragon has always been kind to you guys
Not
and
enough.
claims to fight off the blue
There's
dragon.
plenty of goblins.
And you've seen the blue dragon come towards you, and then the bronze dragon fight him and chase him away before.
Giants.
And the bronze dragon's been nothing but kind and talk to you guys.
To work something out.
And then occasionally he loses his
Yeah, we
fight,
can
and the
tell
blue
it's
dragon
a
comes and
delicacy.
raids your goods.
And camels also a delicacy.
With this
But we-
having been your
we
entire life
focus
up to
on
this
the-
point, how
we
do you
try and
take this
hardline
news?
So he sees it. So Griff sees it as
I think
good and
that's
bad
most
because he's like, well, getting rid of the bad dragon would be great. However, that's probably one of the reasons because I presume that the goblins have not attacked this island.
They have not to the knowledge of the party yet.
Right. So as far as he's aware, they haven't had visitors to this island because the dragons. So
Yeah.
getting rid of the bad one would be great, but getting rid of the good one that protects us would be bad.
They're both good.
Guys, neither dragon is good nor bad.
They're neutral.
They both have been attacking.
So
Either side.
what if we keep the blue one here, keep one dragon here, give it what we can, and then we don't have to worry about losing all of our food, and we get rid of the other one like you're talking about.
The blue one's the one that's been hurting you guys. The gold one's been helping you.
Okay, so then we keep the gold one and we get rid of the blue one. It works for everybody. We try to make the food for the gold one, or the bronze one. It keeps that one happy. It protects us, as it always has. We get rid of the blue one. It deals with some other, well, island, as you say, and they deal with it. And then everyone's happy.
But neither of them want meat. Or, I mean, neither of them want wheat. They want meat.
But if we don't have to worry about the blue one attacking us and getting rid of all of our...
I'll tell you this much,
Excess.
Chief.
And then you guys have a flashback to it like barely picking up that one little piece of chicken and like trying to eat it with its claws. He's just overhunted all the large game on the island.
Listen, Chief. They both need to be relocated. We can offer you protection, but you guys just don't. There's not enough cattle on this island because and as well as I can tell you this much, the North's going to give you the exact same story you've been giving us, but the opposite. They're going to want to keep the blue dragon, but get rid of the gold one. The gold one's been attacking them to get their food, while the blue one, quote unquote, saves them.
Okay. We get rid of both dragons for the time being, as long as we have some protector then, to protect us from the troubles.
What's your troubles?
The villains from the north and the blue dragon, of course. But anyways,
What villains from the
Wait,
north? But if
you
we
guys
get
attacked from the north?
if we get rid of the blue dragon, if we get rid of both dragons, then you won't have that blue dragon problem anymore.
But anyway, so if we get rid of both dragons, we have the protectors here to protect us. And then we raise our crops again. We bring back the gold dragon, who will help us. Everyone's happy. Yes? No? Yes.
I mean,
Because then we have the
If-
food the dragon needs. We don't have both of them destroying both of our food. And everyone's happy.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel comfortable agreeing to something on behalf of either dragons when they're not here to talk with themselves.
Well, you
because
did-
it's really their decision whether or not they even want to stay
You did
here.
say there was going to be a meeting.
Is this not the meeting?
The
I feel
dragons
like
aren't
we're-
here yet.
I mean, we're talking a lot already.
But it's an
I
idea.
prefer action.
And then you're like launching daggers throughout the crowd.
I was looking for like a tree that I just like like a hole through it.
Oh yeah, one thing I should say about this.
Like 300.
This guy, this kobold that you're talking to, the kobold I'm playing, he is only wearing, like, he's basically wearing like normal like farmer gear. He looks like a farmhand basically.
Excuse me. Blue overalls, straw hat,
Wait,
brown long
shouldn't
shirt
you
or
be in the
something.
crowd then? Wait, never mind.
You've accepted. Of course I'm gonna be with you instead. Well, where else would I be?
Should we just put him back on the ship?
I mean, it's up to him. It's not- I mean, I feel
Would you like to see the ship?
Well, you've mentioned something about this talk between the dragons, and I feel like that requires the utmost
Oh, no,
attention.
that'll be boring. You do it.
I would like to get a message back to the ship if I can.
I don't disagree with
Okay.
that, but
Is there someone around I can talk to?
There's the one gnome that is, and there's also the chieftain who's right there.
I think it'd be faster. I'm gonna head back to the ship real quick, talk to somebody. I'm gonna try and get some meat here ready for when the dragons arrive.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly dashing. So I'm gonna be.
You're gonna be quick about
60
this.
feet in the air. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be 80 feet on the ground, but I want to go over.
your speed bonuses would equate to your
And-
wings.
Does it really? Oh hell.
All forms of movement.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah. Because for some reason with monk
I remember that because we did the same thing with my Aarakocra.
Oh really?
Because on D&D Beyond, it goes to all forms of movement.
Okay. Cool. I didn't even realize. Sweet. All right. So yeah, 80. So I got 80 feet of flight speed as I'm dashing to get back to the ship as fast as I can, and I'd like to talk to our chef.
Okay. Yeah. As you're flying, you pass the party that's heading there of scholars.
Do a little wave.
Yeah, and they're almost there. You know, they'll be there before you get back. And you get to your. Do you have an official chef on the crew yet? I don't think you do.
Yeah.
But
We do have a brewer.
you do have a brewer.
I was hoping we had somebody else that could handle the food.
But you get to one of the lizard folk who's tending a fire and cooking something.
Hey,
Hey.
do we have a lot of meat on board? I mean,
Yes.
like edible meat prepared to for meals, not like digestion to like our body. Like I don't know how those are.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Enough for 2 dragons.
Oh, what's a dragon?
Enough for like 10 horses, 20 horses, double that, 20 horses. Because there's like 2 of them. So like 10 horses and 10 horses. About the size of the
There's
ships.
enough meat. Yes.
Can we get that prepared and sent to the place?
Yes.
Are you just saying yes? Because I don't know if you're understanding what I'm saying to you.
Make meat good to eat. Send to island. And he gets up.
I'm
And-
gonna follow it.
He goes down there, goes down into the
I'm just like
up,
flying
up
behind
onto
him.
the ship, and he goes to some ropes that are hanging off the edge, and he just starts reeling it up, and you have like something that's effectively been marinated or brined in salt water, like a skinned camel. Another lizard folk starts helping him pull it up, and then they pull up some more ropes, and you see 2 crabs, and then you see a donkey.
Okay, get it prepared, boys. Get it ready to eat, and send it. Actually, I'll just wait here with him because I'll handle him to get the talk started, and I'll arrive with the meat. And you remember that the show that we watched, No Game No Life?
Yeah.
I like to imagine my character like is flying at almost all times, like how that character is in that show, basically flying behind the party, just like hovering, like
Yes.
way that's just kind of like. I wish I could describe it better, but like it's really funny too.
Kind of aloof, just.
Yeah, kind of like fall, like almost like being led by like a smell, kind of thing. How it happens, where you're kind of like just picked up, but like just the wings. So you're kind of like just like, what's going on over here? But you're like, oh.
Yeah, just yeah, okay.
So yeah, that's
And
what
so-
I'll be doing.
You're able to actually get back there, and things are well prepared. You guys are free to tell me what you've been doing in the meantime. It can be RP, it can be just waiting for the meeting. You're going to arrive back about 20 minutes before the dragons are scheduled to get there and be able to be part of last minute preparations.
Damn it, too early. The meat will be cold when they get here.
I like to think I'm still talking to the chieftain and his cobalt, just trying to make sure that they understand that the dragons weren't actually trying to hurt anyone in the process. Because it seemed like they were pretty dead set on the fact that one dragon in particular was awful.
And then one of the older kobolds is going to come out. Did you hear anything about why they kidnapped that young man?
He was not kidnapped. He chose to stay there of his own free will. He liked to hang out with the dragon. I can't read. I'll pull up the stack of books that I took from there. It's like, I can't read these. I can speak your guys' languages, but I cannot read it.
And so he'll come over and he'll grab it and he'll start flipping open it. And he's going to look at you, and then a fire is going to kind of light in his eyes. The first thing it says on this page is I'm being held against my will.
Flip the page, he's like, look through the rest of it. He might have been kidnapped initially, but he was let go and continued to stay on his own free will.
So he does flip back and skims through a couple pages and does get the impression that your story now lines up, that eventually the dragon and him became quasi-friends, and after he finished telling all the stories that he could to relieve the dragon's boredom, he was let go and was able to take some trinkets and food with him. And the very old guy goes back to.
I swear the dragons mean well. I promise you.
Mean well, kids nap for little kids. So, you're free to tell me anything that you want to do, or do any pre-planning as like your own little political party on what you want to happen at the meeting, and anything you want to set up, and ways you want things to go. All the respective parties are kind of in their own groups, like whispering amongst each other, trying to figure out what they want the outcome of the meeting to be, and you can see someone calls off in the distance that the two dragons have taken flight from the northmost mountain and are heading this way. And
I'm playing a little ditty on my lute. It's not good. I can roll for it if you'd like.
yes, I would love for it.
It's probably not going to be good. Hopefully.
The overall my outcome would just be to educate the people on what had been happening, what the dragons want to see happen, and what potentially we could do for the dragons, as long as they understand that the dragons would not be staying here on the island anymore.
Gotcha.
Is that a performance modifier?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you proficient with loot?
Yes, I am. I'm proficient with my instrument. Yes, I am. And I'm proficient in performance. Woo! 11 altogether. 7 plus 4.
Well, you're level 5, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, right, you have a plus.
My charisma's 13. I'm not a bard. That's not my proficient. I don't care if I sound good. I play for myself because I'm awesome.
The thing is, I'm just so used to being a bard. I expected it.
Your party's like, not the best you played. Some of the kobolds are like, that's interesting, because it's unique music to them still, and it's still being played above average.
It's Simon and Garfunkel's. What is it? Sage. No, that's the last one. What is it?
Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
Yeah. Is that Scarborough Fair?
Yeah.
Okay, so I play Scarborough Fair.
Okay. Scarborough Fair. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to the one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine.
Yeah, so we both remember the words, dude. That's what the whole 11 gets me.
I'm going to pause the recording and grab more drink.
You don't have to pause for that.
No, I don't.
We'll keep them entertained. That's your jump cut. That's your jump cut signal. It's just me flailing.
I'll keep them entertained. Like right when I'm about to start recording, you start waving your arms again. Just pretend you did that the entire. When you get a hard cut, it'll be a fade out. It'll be a fade out, phase back in, still waving.
See,
arms.
now I hope you don't do it because I want this to be all still in there.
Exactly.
How was that for you, Joe? You fucking bitch piece of shit.
The pavilion is now missing panels in the roof on either side, and
We destroy places everywhere we go.
and the kobolds, with the assistance of some of the scholars, and direct everybody to get ready. And the kobolds sit at one end of the table, and they leave the table without the seating with the padding on the floor for the taller creatures. And then they direct the dragons to land on the roof, alternating so one's head could pop in through the ceiling on either side.
Oh, I hope that's functional. Last thing I want to do is piss off some dragons.
Right when we're in the middle of their dragon breaths.
It's right. With all the dragons poking through. Who's like dealing
With
that?
everybody from the island watching.
Why don't they be inside and we'll be outside looking down in on them?
Let's stand all on top of the wooden thing and like hope that saves us from the flame.
Okay, that's a good point. Let's not do that. Let's stay inside.
So the best thing you can do.
Right? Nothing about the situation is exactly fireproof.
The best thing you can do is show a little bit of vulnerability.
That said, they're lightning dragons, so if you just hold hands
One's lightning,
and you're
one's
not
a fire.
and you're in the middle, then you're good. Someone else is gonna take the run of
But
it.
we're gonna take two of them.
If anyone's wearing metal, they're kind of in problem there.
Suck it.
Wait, what's on your arm? Daggers? What are
Leather.
they made out of?
Leather.
Leather daggers.
Daggers?
No, the daggers are magical. They're not like real daggers.
That's
It's a
fair.
magical.
That's true,
It's like a
that's
phantom
true.
dagger kind of thing. It's
Well,
like
you
it's
know,
like
like a
ghost.
buckle?
No. Also leather. Where would we get metal from? Where would we get metal from?
Or
I'm not
some
gonna lie.
surface.
Okay, but we don't. Okay, we wouldn't be able to make pits though, to mine it.
You don't
Without-
need them. Incas and whatnot would use rocks and just smack the crap out
Oh,
of
that's a
them.
good point.
They would never be
Rocks.
refined, but I mean, you get a loose piece of pig iron and just smash it into shape.
I'll leave that up to John. I don't know how far we've gotten.
Either way, that and the lightning dragon does something.
I say we're getting too logical into this. The lightning dragon breathes, or
All screwed. Yeah, exactly.
I
So.
think someone could say for half.
Well, one of them's a cone. The other one is a 30-foot line. So
that's fair. But are you gonna stand toe to toe to a dragon?
yes. No, I'm gonna fly behind it like I did before. Because they can't breathe behind them. I don't know about you. I can't
John,
put my head back.
Are
and
these? These are bigger than large dragons, right? Are they?
forth. No, I thought they
No,
were.
they're just large.
They're just large. Okay.
Yeah. Huh. That's why they're able to kind of sit on this roof and. Yeah, it buckles a little bit for sure.
Yeah, a little bit of creaking.
But not much
I
because
say, well, it's Amish
they haven't been eating much and it's Amish made, so it's pretty well built.
All right.
And so the Kobold chieftain pipes up and says, "We've been called together today." This is now how he sounds. I don't know why. "We've been called together today to discuss the issue of the dragons and the joining of the Great Alliance. What do you guys call your cohort?"
He looks over and he can see me just like whisper ordering the lizard folk to divvy up the meat and take them over to each head, kind of like just ordering like don't take that over.
And the lizard folk start doing it, and like feet holding up to the dragons. And they just get this big grin, and the kobolds like get slightly scared at the sight of these things just eating, and they do the little bird thing where they kind of throw up the food and like and try and catch it a little bit more. And they're like, they're having a hard time because their heads just kind of through this little holes.
I probably should have fed them later. Damn it. Oh,
And
good thing it comes back to you.
yeah, they're very pleased. Everybody roll me dumb luck rolls. So D20. Tell me what you get.
14.
Oh.
Well, I got a 1, so
I got a 9.
Griff has no dumb luck.
Your seat gets splattered a little bit with some saliva. You're next to a messy eating dragon. And just like this chunk of meat, saliva cover just kind of slaps into your neck and rolls down the front of your shirt.
Nothing goes to waste! Goes to waste.
Oh, good lord, look at him out. Okay.
Hey, we're Amish.
It's
We
not.
waste nothing. We are Amish. So just wipe it on the person next to me. Just kind of like, and just.
Well, you've got the barn clothes. I guess, yeah, you better wave it on someone else's silk.
I'm not ruining my clothes. These are farmers' clothes.
Yeah, so they're probably covered in dung.
Hey, we haven't had animals in a long time.
Hear a moo in the background.
What do you expect? They're sacred.
To be fair, I did roll a 20 on that cleaning.
There you go.
I should clarify, the only reason your kobold is at this table is because you have come to realize that you too can understand all languages.
Nice.
I do nothing with this gift currently. I continue to eat this hungry meat.
That's why you even have this gift yet.
I just
acknowledge it.
am cursing in my infernal tongue, and you can understand each one of them.
Yeah.
Oh man.
His charisma is a +1, so I don't think he'd even realize, like, man, I can understand everything. He's just like, food.
Yeah.
Man, I thought I was going to go out there eating this entire banquet.
Better than it ain't it.
We got a food. And I got someone to clean it off of really, really well.
This guy is shit.
The bronze dragon will pipe up. You mentioned a possible source of meat.
Wait, bronze?
Yes.
I thought he was gold.
I mistakenly said gold once yesterday at the very beginning, I think.
But
But
last week?
last week,
Okay.
yeah.
Isn't gold like a CR2 usually?
Gold's a higher CR than what these guys are.
So they are both.
blue and bronze.
They are both lightning then. So they're both
Yeah.
lines. So neither one's a code.
Okay.
Just so you know.
But yes, you heard correctly. There is a nice bounty of meat, but it takes some more negotiating. But we will still find meat. We will still have meat. We can still get you meat.
You have brought meat, and I am satisfied for now.
Consider it
I will hear you out.
a intro. A first course, if you will.
Yeah.
For what is to come on other provincial islands.
And
And other things to say. But I don't have it yet.
the Kobold chieftain will then say, I'm very curious what you mean to... Where do you intend to take them?
I have a separate island nearby, actually, to here. I believe. It's just north of it.
And you can look at your map and rationalize which island must be yours, because you know there's only one island left that's a corner island, and
Right.
therefore it must be yours.
I slam my fist down
I
on
thought
the
it was a
table.
gavel for some reason. I think.
I will look for a gavel after slamming my hand down. Say, does anyone have a small hammer with which to gavel?
And then like 1,000,001 kobolds like pull out small hammers.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, Strategies here.
And I
Thanks
smack
for
that
watching my
down.
videos. If you want to be part of the videos, are a content creator in need of help, or just a good old gamer looking for chill people, you should check out the Strategy Engineer community on Discord. Here we have over 100 people who have joined to game, chill, and create content. Thanks again for watching. Click the icon in the center to subscribe. Left and right show related content, and the link to the Discord is in the description below. Thanks again, and have a great day.
Oh, you're good.